G'day, Damon here for Automotive Superstore, and today I'm going to check out the JVC KW-M785BW. It's the most affordable unit that we have that has CarPlay and Android Auto both wired and wirelessly and smartphone mirroring. Let's start with what comes in the box, and what's nice is JVC have printed out the full owner's manual, not only in English but in multiple other languages as well. Pretty rare these days. Your Bluetooth microphone's included. What's nice is this unit can do 2 phones simultaneously for hands-free and 5 phones simultaneously for what's called DJ mode, where friends in the car can take turns at deciding what music's going to be played on the head unit. That sounds like a nightmare to me, but anyway, it's a great feature if you like to share that sort of service in your car. Your steering wheel remote connection, some bolts and screws, and the keys to get the unit in and out of the dashboard. You get both the standard fascia surround and the 200mm wide one for certain Subaru and Toyota vehicles. Again, nice to be included in the package. There's a GPS antenna that's required for the wireless CarPlay aspect of this unit, and then the main loom itself, and that gives you, power, earth trigger, output for your speakers and that sort of thing, and then the connection for the internal amplifier on this, 22 watts RMS by 4 for the internal power channels, and this has front, rear, and subwoofer RCA preouts with 5 volts RMS. So here I fired the unit up into Android Auto mode, and here's my phone connected wirelessly. And you can scroll your apps up and down in this, and also have a split screen over here. If you grab your iPhone and plug that in though, we'll change over to CarPlay mode, and this way the apps you can actually access by swiping left and right instead of up and down. Now CarPlay and Android Auto give you access to the apps you need for communication and for music and for navigation. And you can use the default apps for the phone itself, or you can download alternative apps to your heart's content. In this one, I've got Apple Maps, and I've also got Google Maps, and I've got Waze, but there are also things like Simple Radio and Radio app, which are ways to get digital radio onto your unit that doesn't have DAB as a standard feature. And that's a good little hack if you want to enjoy radio at a higher fidelity than the inbuilt analog radio. Let's jump back to the main menu. And here we've got a menu system here, giving us access to all the different sources. You can see that it has HDMI input. It's actually a mini HDMI input for this that JVC claim can do smartphone mirroring from HDMI, which opens the gateway for it to also happen from your iPhone. And this unit also has dual camera inputs. At the moment, nothing connected, obviously, because we're on the bench. Click the little gear set here, and we jump into the controls for our display. A bunch of wallpapers come as defaults for you to play with. I don't mind this one here. And also you can go in and change the color of the screen on the side here to any one of these colors, or to scan, or you can do a user set one where you can edit the RGB for that to choose the exact color to match the dashboard of your car. That's a really nice feature. You've got daylight mode and nighttime mode to choose from. Inputs your rear camera control. In system, it's just setting up time and stuff like that. Let's jump into audio, starting with the equalizer. So in here you have 13 bands of EQ that you can adjust, or you can slide across here, and there are a bunch of different preset EQs you can try out. Here also is the subwoofer level control up and down. Coming back, there's also time alignment for all channels. Now this has a basic version which is just speaker position, or you can do a more advanced version where you can go in and adjust the time correction for each individual channel. Your normal fader and balance, obviously. In sound effects, so they've got multiple levels of loudness contour. Alternatively, you can have 3 levels of bass boost, sound enhancement, And that's going to be a reverb effect to make it sound like it's in a slightly larger volume than the interior of your car. Sound lift's an interesting one that claims to raise the position of the soundstage higher up on the dashboard. I'm not entirely sure what they're doing with that, but by all means play around with it. If you find that a setting other than off is better, then by all means use it. And now finally, let's jump into crossover. So the crossover in this unit's actually quite intriguing. It's really handy because a lot of people really don't know the numbers and frequencies and what numbers they should set for filters for their various speakers. And so this system has a way where you can start with the size of car that you've got. And let's just say you've got a full-size car. And then you can say the speakers are in the lower door area. And then we can select the size of speaker. So we can go to 10 centimeter, a 12, a 13, or a 16, or a 17. All different sizes, and it will set a filter that it thinks is appropriate for those size of speakers. If you've got a tweeter in the front, you can add that as well. But if you want to adjust that manually yourself, hit the crossover button, and you can go in here and you can adjust this yourself. So you can add your high pass. You can adjust it between 6 dB per octave all the way up to 24 dB per octave when in two-way mode, and from 30 Hertz all the way up to 250. We come back and we select the subwoofer in the system. We can either choose the size of subwoofer on here. We can go into crossover and we can actually select the crossover frequency for ourselves. Now this also has a three-way crossover available, but you've got to turn the unit off and go into network mode. The thing to note in three-way mode is that the difference is then your front RCA preouts or your front power channels will actually drive mid-range speakers. The rear channels drive tweeters, and then the sub drives a sub. The other thing to note is that in three-way mode, you're limited to a 12 dB per octave filter slope, whereas in two-way mode, you can have 18 or 24 dB per octave. And that is JVC's KW-M785BW, which is bloody good value actually. And I think if you click on the link down below, you'll find this is a smoking deal at our store. And so if you want to grab one, click that link, go across and grab one today. While you're down there, like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.